Finally have an update to weird guy shows up at my parents' door using details about my life that were valid 20 years ago. Alright, 1 year later, I finally have an update to this mystery. Let me take you back to the original story first. This happened 3 nights ago, and I was going crazy trying to figure it out. I had just moved into a new apartment a month prior and was still unpacking. I've always used my parents' address as my mailing address since they live a few towns over, just 20 minutes away. 3 nights ago, my parents called me at 2 a.m., clearly freaked out. They told me that at 1 a.m., someone started banging on their front door and repeatedly ringing the doorbell. My stepdad went downstairs and opened the door, leaving the glass door closed and locked. There stood a man in his 30s, wearing a black hoodie with the hood pulled up. He didn't have any distinguishing features, and my stepdad noted he looked Hispanic. Neither my stepdad nor my mother, who was watching from a window, recognized him. The man said, "I'm so sorry to bother you, but I'm looking for my full name." My stepdad played dumb and asked, "Who?" The man repeated my full name and claimed to be a friend of my boyfriend, saying they were both worried because I hadn't come home. The truth is, I don't have a boyfriend. I live alone with my 3 dogs and haven't been in a relationship for the past 5 to 6 months. Then, the man named my high school boyfriend from 10th grade, nearly 20 years ago. His name is so unique that I've never met anyone else with it. The man kept insisting that they were worried about me and asked if my stepdad was sure I wasn't inside. At that point, my stepdad was thoroughly unsettled and closed the door. But the man didn't leave. He lingered outside for the next 10 minutes, smoking cigarettes and talking on the phone. Finally, my parents called the police. Just 5 minutes before they arrived, the man walked down to the end of the block and drove away in a silver car. My stepdad couldn't get the license plate, and after filing a police report, nothing else happened. After hearing this story, I was consumed with questions. How could someone know who I dated nearly 20 years ago? I hadn't been in contact with that boyfriend in over a decade, so I decided to message him on Facebook to see if he had any insight. He was just as confused and claimed to have no part in it. I was at a loss and really freaked out that someone would go to such lengths at 1 a.m. to look for me. Now, for the recent update. After this incident, my family and a few close friends discussed the mystery in depth, trying to piece together what had happened. We all had our theories, but ultimately, no definitive answers. Then, my stepsister and her fiancé attended a house party in early January. While there, they started talking to a girl they didn't know. She began sharing about her ex-boyfriend, saying they were going through a tough time after recently breaking up. Somehow, it came up that her ex was my 10th grade boyfriend, the one with the unique Italian name. When my stepsister and her fiancé heard this, they freaked out and told her about the whole mystery without revealing too many details. As they shared the story, the girl's face went pale, and she looked like she was about to cry. They tried to console her, but she explained that just a few nights earlier, someone had banged on her door at, you guessed it, 1 a.m., just like what happened at my parents' house. She jumped out of bed, terrified by how aggressively someone was banging on her door, thinking it might break in. She checked her Ring camera and saw a guy in a black hoodie doing the same thing. She pretended not to be home and kept the lights off. Just as she was about to call 911, he stopped and left. She was shaken but didn't call the cops, possibly opting to stay with a friend that night. My stepsister and her fiancé were shocked by the similarities, especially since we shared a mutual ex-boyfriend. But the girl insisted this guy was not him. He was much taller and heavier. How strange is that? This mystery remains unsolved, and these new details only make my head spin even more. Thankfully, no one has shown up at my parents' door since that incident a year ago.